My name is Bob Eddy, and I live in Mina, Nevada. What I do for a living around Nevada is we ranch. We used to raise lobsters, which we don't anymore, and my wife has a little restaurant. Nevada's a pretty large state, and I don't understand what you want, like with islands, but there's a lot of them in Nevada because there's little towns all over central Nevada. The only population we have is in the Reno area, which is Washoe County, and in southern Nevada, which is Clark County. The rest of it is pretty spread out, and there's little. I look at Haiti and Cuba and the Hawaiian Islands. Those are islands, okay, because they're surrounded by water. But here, it's when you go across the United States, there's so much land that there's no island. Yeah, if you have a lake, once in a while in a lake, you'll have an island. Mono Lake out of Hawthorne's got a couple islands. Walker Lake don't have it. So my idea of your islands I don't really understand what you mean by an island. You mean population of people is an island, a little place is an island, or what? Those are communities. The problem with Nevada is your land problem. Most of the 89% of Nevada is owned by the federal government. All that we have belongs to the federal government. We lease it. There's some islands of private land in it, but they're not very big.
Yeah.
We've got one that's 160 acres and one that's 120 acres. So we own.
Okay.
Now that white down there, that ranch I showed you,
Yeah.
that's a lot of it is in alfalfa.
Yeah.
But they own that. That's private land. You can't, unless you make some kind of deal with the government, you just can't go in and do something on the land.
I see.
And when you get out in these big, vast areas, that's why there's nothing there. They're freshwater lobster from Australia.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing that got me interested, I got a friend in Australia, and we brought some lobsters over to see if we could make them live.
Mm-hmm.
It was about a 10-year experience.
Mm-hmm. But how was it? Like, how did you get this idea? It's very specific. I mean, you would never think of lobsters in the desert. You just
the older people. I'm very conservative.
Mm-hmm.
I don't take nothing from the government. I don't want nothing from them. And that is why the United States actually built so well and did, because if you do something, you reap the profits from it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's changing very fast now, and it's for the worst.
Mm-hmm.
I've been to Australia a couple times with David. My daughter spent 18 months over there. And we just got thinking about things, and let's try to raise them.
Mm-hmm.
I can do a quarter pounder in about 4 months,
Mm-hmm.
so I can turn my tanks over faster
I see. Mm-hmm.
and sell the same. And the bigger the lobster gets, the more room he takes in your tank. So I can have 1,000 quarter pounders, but I can only have 500
Mm-hmm.
or 250 big ones.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Before we got into this recession, there used to be a lot of people come out of the Northwest and go right through here, going down to Arizona for the winter.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Okay, and summer, but I just sold them off the highway.
Okay.
That was another problem that I had with the Fish and Game and the government is it was all cash. I didn't take no checks, I didn't take no credit cards.
Yeah.
I got first count on the money, and they didn't like that.
Yeah.
Everybody liked it except for the Fish and Game.
Mm-hmm.
And their excuse was that somebody might buy some from me and take them out and put them in their water, but they don't have any water that's 80 degrees. Well, there's some warm springs around, but they don't have any. The only thing they could really get into would be warm water, because if the water gets below 50, those lobsters will die.
So they were afraid of the lobsters could become a wild animal living in Nevada.
Yeah, taking over the desert.
And can you imagine living somewhere else?
Yeah, I've lived all over Nevada with these cows. I've been on 2 or 3 different, owned different ranches.
Mm-hmm.
Cows every place. All them springs you've seen on it, we have cows on them. And they wander that whole thing all by themselves. That's home to them.
Yeah.
And all we do is go around and brand the calves and pick the bigger ones up that we're going to sell.
Yeah.
I like the desert.
Yeah.
I can see, you get into them big mountains and them trees and you can't see nothing. Can't see it now, it's covered.